Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Thursday and welcome to the Pagan Housewife. In this series, my hope is that the information presented reflects a mindset of realism that strives for excellence, as well as a spirit of adaptability. And today's video about meaningful relationships is meant to fall into that zone. I don't believe in utopian ideals. I think that kind of pursuit of perfectionism is inherently self-destructive, and it is destructive for others because it isn't grounded in how things actually work in real life. And that's how I tend to judge all philosophy. And if being honest, just everything really. One of the key hurdles is, does something actually work in real life on Earth, and is it reasonably achievable for most people? And if something doesn't pass that test, then it's time to discard it and reject the premise upon which it's based. Getting lost in an idealism of how things ought to be or how I wish they were, it blinds people to what's actually possible and the joy they can have from something that's real. I would be surprised if anyone, when envisioning how they'd like their home life to be, would visualize being alone. Now, granted, we all need some time alone, quiet time, and parents of small children. I know you have a profound need for both, but how many people would picture their home without their family in it? The household, as we've discussed in other videos, it isn't just the structure we take shelter in. It's more than the routine, mundane chores or going out and earning enough money in order to maintain the household. What we go to all that effort for is the people. And no matter the era, family relationships are difficult to navigate, and there are accounts in ancient societies in which parents and children had their struggles, and some of those struggles would be pretty familiar to parents and spouses today. Clearly, it's always going to be hard no matter what, but the alternative is families becoming strangers to each other, and sadly, more and more that seems to be the case. What use is it really to be married to your spouse or to share DNA with your children? If you're functioning as though your household was just a hotel and the residents within it, don't really have the slightest ideas about each other's lives, their concerns, their needs, their goals, their values. I just don't see how that's productive at all, let alone fulfilling. And we know what kind of world we're living in. Everyone is feeling the pressure. Let's be honest, we're not managing that pressure very well. We're certainly not managing technology very well. And there are so many toxic ideologies running rampant that set out to atomize people. Marriages and families have been suffering the consequences for these things for decades. And now the tough times are here. And finances are getting challenging for most people. We need strong families more than ever. We need strong marriages more than ever. Once we take away, our toys and other distractions in life, it becomes very easy to see that our families are really the only things we actually have. And it isn't easy repairing damage that's been done. And honestly, some things can't be healed. So I'm not encouraging anyone to go on a hopeless, doomed mission to repair relationships that were broken for legitimate reasons. But do try to fix that which can be fixed, and we can also always work on fixing ourselves. We can weed out the ideas in our heads that come from these ideologies that destroy families, marriages, and individuals. And how different it would be if the idea of the family functioning together as a team was something more than just, this thing that people gave lip service to. What if it was a reality? How different it would be if, when dealing with marriage issues, it wasn't about, scoring points, getting your way, or making sure that you stood up to that patriarchy. But what if it's actually about solving the problem, coming together as a team, and at least making your problems more manageable for both parties? What would that do? And how different would it be if we lived in such a way that displayed we actually take these family relationships seriously? We can't fake this. We can't just go through the motions and expect things to happen automatically. It's going to require being willing to go through some process of feeling awkward as you reconnect, or doing a trial and error to try to deepen connections or work on problems. It's going to require changing our habits and giving less attention to trivialities, making the sacrifice and showing through our actions that our families actually matter to us. It's going to be hard, but the rewards are great. So are we willing to invest in our families with our time and our attention and our care? I really hope so, because that's the only way we're going to have meaningful relationships in our lives. It's the only way to model for children what relationships can and ought to be. And that is the only way we can really lay a solid foundation for a better society. So That's my 2 cents. Time to let me know what you think in the comment section, or come see us on Gilded. There's a link to join Blackbird's Brew in the description box, and we'd be very happy to have you there and go into this topic a lot further, because I dare say meaningful relationships, what that consists of, how we can create them, how we can nurture them, that's something that's probably weighing heavy on a lot of people's minds right now. So you will find yourself in good company. But that will do it for now, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.